Did you know that Africa played a pivotal role in shaping the early Christian mind? Can Christianity therefore be called a European religion, forced onto Africans as is often claimed? Did you know that the Ark of the Covenant is still today in Ethiopia? Well, that is according to the Ethiopian Orthodox Church. Have you seen pictures of the amazing rock-hewn churches at Lalibela in Ethiopia? Have you heard of the Treaty of Tordesillas, by which Portugal and Spain effectively divided up the newly discovered lands outside of Europe between themselves? Have you heard of Jacobus Kapitein, the first African to acquire a doctorate degree, defending the thesis that slavery was not contrary to Christian freedom? These are just some of the fascinating facts that you will encounter in this course by the Reformed Theological Academy called The History and Theology of the Church in Africa 200 to 2000 AD. In this course, students will acquire essential knowledge encompassing the history and theology of the Church in Africa from 200 to 2000 AD. The course equips students with a comprehensive knowledge and a comprehensive understanding of pivotal events that shaped the Church in the Mediterranean world up to approximately 800 AD. The history of the Church along the Nile River and its presence in Nubia and Ethiopia are examined in the next part of the course. This includes the exploring of encounters with Islam as a post-Christian religion. Subsequently, an overview is given of the history of the Church south of the Sahara Desert since roughly 1480. This involves a critical examination of the historical processes and motivations underlying the establishment of so-called mission churches under colonial powers. Particular emphasis is placed on the examination of the Church at the Cape of Good Hope, tracing its history since 1650. This analysis encompasses the initial period under Dutch influence and subsequent developments during the British colonial era. The course delves into the unique historical and theological nuances that have shaped the identity and role of the Church in this region across different colonial administrations. Furthermore, students will engage with the profound impact of colonialism and the subsequent process of decolonization during the 20th century. The decolonization of Africa and its influence on the relationship between church and state and the accompanying rise of African independent churches is covered. The important question that deserves consideration is whether the theology of the Church in Africa encompassed all 12 articles of the Apostles' Creed, and whether this theology stayed true to the Christology of the Nicene Creed. The question is also asked whether the order of Christ was and is being followed in the government of the Church in Africa. So join us for this exhilarating journey from the first centuries in North Africa, down the Nile River, across the Sahara Desert, through the rainforests of Central Africa, to the southern tip where we find ourselves today. And see the work of Jesus Christ our Lord in gathering His Church throughout our vast continent.